the Florida Gators. Yeah. 1-2 on the season. 0-1 in conference play. You know, we dropped 82 points. That's 27.3 points per game. Opponents at 81, 27 points per game. So don't let that fool you, because one game we smacked one team around like we supposed to, but then look good in the other two games. So look, those numbers are kind of screwed. Okay, so don't fall into don't fall into that trap. I'm just letting you know. We have a turnover ratio of -4. We have 6 offensive turnovers to 2 defensive turnovers. The funny thing is, when we got both of those turnovers on the defensive side, we couldn't do nothing with it. Passing, we're completing 61.5% of our passes for 279 yards per game, 5 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So we're 1-to-1 when it comes to touchdown and interception ratio. So every touchdown we throw a pick. For every pick we throw a touchdown. That's pretty much what we're doing. The rushing game, 87 carries throughout the season with 357 yards. That is 119 yards per game, 4.1 yards per carry with 6 rushing touchdowns. The running game is working. The running game works. Somehow the passing game ain't clicking for whatever reason. It's hit or miss. And we don't look good. We just don't look good. Defensively, our pass defense giving up close to 69% completion percentage, which is not good for a secondary that's supposed to be representing the Florida Gators. Giving up 236 yards per game to 5 touchdown passes, and we only got 1 interception. Not very good on the back end. The back end is not looking very good. But hey, they're not alone, because the rush defense is not that good either. Out of 123 carries, the opponents are rushing for 515 yards this season on us. So per game, that is 171 yards per game. 4.2 yards per carry with 4 rushing touchdowns. So not only teams are passing on us, they are running the ball on us too. So we can kill in both directions. Our passing offense is not that great, but the opponents are as good. And you can say the running game on both sides is fairly even. So that doesn't bode well for us, because we can't get the passing right, and we can't stop the goddamn pass. Just like Florida State, guess what? Florida is 27.3 on third downs, while the opponent is at a 42% rate on third downs. Not as bad as Florida State, because Florida State opponents are 50% on third downs, which means they have a better chance of making it on them than against us. But like I said, numbers are kind of screwed, because one of the games that we won, we blew the team out like we're supposed to. So let me show you. We got our ass whipped by Miami right out the gate. Right out the gate. My ass got handed to me by Kuma Kane. Right out the gate. That's right out the gate. And I watched the game, and I'm like, this is crazy. I couldn't even back out of Monster Wrestling that following Monday, because we had a premium live event to recap. Thank you, Triple H. And then following week, we started DJ Legway against Sanford, and you see what we did: 45-7, an ass whooping, like it's supposed to be. And then we come back at home for the third consecutive time. First ACC game of the year, with Texas A&M coming rolling in. When both teams, where people are like, somebody gonna get a nice win, which is gonna be much needed, and the other team gonna be at a loss we was at a loss at the beginning. Don't let that score fool you that Texas A&M only won by 13. No, Texas A&M whooped our ass. That game was not close. Colwood Johnson would tell you. I don't know if Cool would tell you. Any Florida fan would tell you that game was not as close as you might think it was. That was an ass whooping from A&M to Florida in the swamp. So we don't look good at home, just like Florida State don't look good at home. Florida State lost all 3 of their games, 2 of them which were at home. The other one was over the seas in Ireland. We lost. We got 2 ass whoopings in the swamp, and we won 1 in the swamp. So both teams can't defend home field, which is ridiculous. And we got our 2 quarterback system. Graham Mertz, who is the starting quarterback for the Florida Gators, completing almost 66% of his passes. He's throwing for 286 passing yards. That's 143 passing yards per game, which is not good. When you're talking about passing in college, you need to be close to 300. But he did miss that Sanford game with an injury he suffered against Miami. He is going 8.2 yards per attempt, so he is trying to get the ball down the field somewhat. Only has one passing touchdown and 2 interceptions. DJ Uiagalelei all over again. This time, but is in Graham Mertz's body. Go figure. And then we get to DJ Legway. He's completing 61.5% of his passes, 540 yards passing. That's 180 yards per game, 12.3 yards per attempt. He's getting the ball more down the field than Graham Mertz, which I'm not even mad about the whole 8.3 because you're trying to get the ball down the field. That lets me know you're trying and you're not being stagnant and trying to do dump balls and stuff. While DJ Uiagalelei for Florida State, 6.7 yards per attempt. You know, Graham Mertz, he'll try to make the right decision, give me a dump off here, give me a crossing there. When I can, I would take my shots down the field. Hopefully we can complete them and whatnot. It hasn't fallen that way. DJ Legway, he's trying to make plays. Okay. He's going out there. He's like, I want to make an impact right away and trying to make that impact right away. Is the reason why you have thrown for 4 touchdowns, but you also threw 3 picks. So Lagway has to figure out how to be in the middle. Don't mind you taking your shots, okay? Take them when you got them, but be careful with the football. The more time you give the team the football, the better opportunity is to whoop our ass, which Texas A&M did this past weekend. Graham Mertz also turned the ball off against A&M too, so both of y'all turned the ball off against A&M. But look, you know, maybe you and Mertz can work together and y'all can combine and understand each other so that Lagway can take what Mertz does and put it into his game, and Mertz can see how electrifying Lagway is coming in and probably see what he can take from it. Y'all figure out, because if y'all just take care of freaking football, we'll be all right. Offensively, defensively, I have nothing to say defensively. Defensively, I have nothing to say. We can't stop the pass. We can't stop the run. And somehow, some way, teams can score 30 on us with no problem. See, Florida State don't have that problem. Florida State ain't giving up 30 points like that. The most they gave up was 28. That was the Boston College. They gave up 24 to Georgia Tech, 28 to Boston College, and 20 to Mississippi. The problem is with them, they just can't score worth a damn. You'll be lucky to get a touchdown out of Florida State. But with us, Miami, you go ahead and drop 41 like it ain't nothing. Texas A&M, go ahead and draw 33 like it ain't nothing. And then we got to make a furious comeback to make the score look respectable. That doesn't work. That's why we look so damn terrible. But we have a 2-quarterback system. Quarterbacks, they trying. They making mistakes. We can't stand it. We hate it. Play calling has something to do with it as well. Execution has something to do with it as well. But guess what? We're not going after the quarterbacks. Believe it or not, we're not going after quarterbacks. If you believe Gator fans are going after quarterbacks, they're really not. They're not going after quarterbacks. But I'm gonna tell you who they're going after real quickly. But I want to let you know, for those of you who don't remember, the hardest schedule in college football is the Florida Gators. This ain't even the dangerous part of the schedule. We go to Mississippi State this weekend. That is we on ESPN, so I will have to watch this game as a Gator fan. I will have to watch it. We on a bye week the following week, then we have UCF in the swamp, and it's going to be in prime time. What channel is going to be on, it remains to be seen, especially if they look anywhere replicate of a Florida team that they need to look like against Mississippi State, and they come out 2-2. And if UCF continues and they come out 4-0, that's really going to be a game for me to watch in prime time. And I will be watching it. I don't care if it started at 6 or 8. I don't give a crap. And I'm going to sit here. I'm going to look at it from an analyst perspective, even though I am a Gator fan. Remember, I went to UCF. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look at this game in an objective manner. And I'm going to come here that following Wednesday, and I'm going to give you my honest take on that game. So I'm pretty much tell you, this most likely this game going to be on a slate, on the campus to a slate for week 5. Oh, week 6. Sorry, I say week 6 because we have a bye week. after Mississippi State. Then it's the trip to Rocky Top to take on the Tennessee Volunteers, and that's a L. I don't see us doing anything with Tennessee. Then we come back home to host Kentucky. Kentucky got their ass whipped by South Carolina. They looked pretty damn good against Georgia. They just took a 1-point loss to Georgia, so who knows what kind of Kentucky team is going to show up in the swamp for that one. That's going to be ugly. And then this is where the death row of the death schedule begins. November 2nd in Jacksonville against the Georgia Bulldogs. Just for clarification, that's why I say that the death row starts there against Georgia, because after you come to Jacksonville and play Georgia, you might get your ass whooped. Then you go to Austin, Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns, you might get your ass whooped there. Then you come home, you got to play the LSU Tigers. You may have a chance, you may not have a chance because later on in the season, and part of LSU probably figure out how to be a goddamn Tigers all of a sudden. And then after that, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin come walking into Gainesville, Florida. That's an ass whooping before you take your ass to Doak Cap Stadium to play Florida State. Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss. 4 weeks straight. 4 weeks straight. That's why that is the death row of the schedule. And that's before we get to Florida State. So this guy right here, Billy Napier. Oh, Gainesville want your head on a silver platter. You have no. Well, you probably know because I'm pretty sure they probably told you about it. They want your head on a silver platter. Year 3, knowing the type of schedule that you was going to have, and you got the Florida Gators looking like this year. You knew damn well you had a harder schedule. You knew damn well what was coming 2 years in advance. That schedule came out 2 years in advance. We knew the schedule when you became the head coach of the Florida Gators. So you knew going in year 3 was going to be hell. And you still look garbage. You still look in it. If I can say everything that these fans I put on social media, oh my Lord, they want your head. There are reports saying boosters have already put up the money for your buyout. That's how bad people want you out of Gainesville right now. Despite the fact we have the worst schedule in the college football world. They do not care. They rather lose every single game this year if you get fired. They want you gone. They can't stand your butt right now. They really can't. This is why it is very, very terrible right now. In Gainesville. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That was the Miami game. Plastered all over social media and ESPN against Miami. That was a live shot. Devastation to watch the Hurricanes walk in here and bring a hurricane to Gainesville. Because that's pretty much what they were. There was a hurricane from that point. You want to see what they're looking like against Texas A&M? That guy is pissed off. That guy's pissed off. The lady over there, she don't know what to think right now. The lady on behind her, she's in a pitiful state right now. The dude with the hat turned back is like me. He's just sitting there like, it is what it is at this point. And the lady that's you can honestly have her face, she look like she want to cry right now. She look like she want to cry. She look like she is heartbroken on what she's seeing on the football field in Gainesville, Florida. This is what the fan base in Gainesville look like. Miami on top, Texas A&M at the bottom. He's drunk and disgusted. He's so drunk. He actually knows what's going on. He still knows what's happening. That's not bad. You can have alcohol at the game and you just disgusted of what you're seeing in Gainesville, Florida.